if your concern is not about the content, I don't give a shit about your meta-analysis of what you think the ACA is for.
J-Mike, I fully
shut the up
J-Mike,
and call in about the content. Shut the up. Shut the up. Shut the up.
No, John Lee. Matt makes a living engaging with people like you and addressing terrible arguments. That was my statement.
Yeah, can I ask a question about this to J-Mike, please?
Go ahead.
Yeah, J-Mike, do you think that the call screeners are serving up softballs to Matt?
What are you talking about? When someone calls in, they call in, and what's detailed of what they say is what's said. And every time, like, there would be
I'm asking if you think they're gatekeeping, like purposefully.
No, there's no, because like I've been a call screener. I know how the process works. Like, you call in, you detail what you want to talk about, and we put you in call-in studio with a note on what you said, and we start out the call with what the fuck you said. And if we didn't represent that right, you would just call us out and be like, I didn't fucking say that. Right? But that doesn't happen because we take down what the fuck you said. It's not serving a softball. It's that we take, look, we're happy to get all the calls because sometimes our call volume is low, right? We'll go through all the calls we get through a show. It's not like we leave some out, right? We want more because we need them to fill out the show, right? We don't have calls, we don't have a show. When I did Talk Heathen, which I do more, I'll do more Atheist Experience now, but that was a huge thing. 1 o'clock on Sunday or 2 o'clock on Sundays, Eastern time. It's really hard to get them. We take every fucking call we get, even if we might think it's a troll, because it's like, just come on, let's see what you have to say, right? If you're a troll, we'll just kick you off.
Okay, but J-Mike,
right?
I think you may misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you think that, I'm not saying they misrepresent what the person says when they relay what they'd like to speak about. I'm saying, do you think that when they get certain people saying they'd like to speak about complicated topics, that they purposefully sideline those in favor of total softballs? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, no, yesterday we had a bunch, so we didn't go through all of them, but at that point it's, hey, like, I even was asked, which one do you want to take? And I just went through there and was like, oh, this topic looks interesting to me, so I'll take it, right? I pick. The hosts are the ones that pick. All the ones that the screeners take are available to us. So if you're going to take a gripe with that, it would be like whether or not Matt or myself want to avoid a topic, right? That would be what your concern would be.
So can you explain to me why, when I called yesterday and I said, hi, I'd like to speak about epistemic justification, the call screener said, oh, sorry, we have too many calls. We can't get you in. I'm sorry, there's no room.
What time did you call?
2 calls after John Lee. Now, wait, it gets better. So then I call back from a different number and say, oh, the Bible and the natural world, and I just love my Bible. And they said, oh, sir, we'll get you on right away. And I'm the next caller. Why is that?
What was your call?
My call was the call talking about epistemic justification, of course.
I already explained this to you yesterday, Truthy.
I don't remember your call, but I don't really know, because I don't hear you calling the first time and explaining to somebody. But I guess I'm trying to understand. You're saying you called first, you gave one thing, and you're assuming that they were like disposed to be like, oh, this could be a problem for us, so that they didn't take it. That's your claim?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what he's trying to say.
They gave a explanation that was contradicted. They said that they just simply had too many calls, and that the call log was full.
Why don't you call in Talk Heathen next week? I'll be on any week, and I'll take you first.
No. What I'm saying is this contradicts what you just said. It seems like you're under a misapprehension.
How does it contradict? Look, I'm telling you right now to call in. I'm not, if you really think that the claim is that the call screeners were scared of you or whatever the way I'm taking the claim is that, like, you called about some topic that signaled some red flag, and they were like, no, you did another one, and they were like, okay, that's one that we should take.
And they let me on immediately, J. Mike. They let me on immediately.
Hold on, I'm just trying to understand your point. If that's the case and that's your concern, let me absolve that concern and take whatever question you had next week. Because
you do realize that is totally irrelevant to what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just telling you, I couldn't tell you the fact of the matter because I'm not a call screener. What I can tell you is that I would see no reason for that to be the case because we take all calls from all sorts of different types of topics.
Right?
I'm not really.
I explained it to you
I don't know
yesterday,
that.
didn't I,
Look, if you bring up, you might bring up something to a call. Hold on. You might bring up something to a call screener, and they don't even know the words that you're talking about in terms of like epistemology because they're not involved in that. They might not have the inclination to go, that's a red flag, because they're not familiar with the topic in the first place, or they are, and they're like, yeah, that'd be great. I don't see any reason on all the call screeners I know that they would be like, no. There's no, like, nothing's ever been told to me or the hosts. We're all together. We talk about this. There's nothing like, let's prevent these people from calling.
No, I get you.
Right?
I get you. That's all consistent with you being deceived. And Tom, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, you could be right. But the point is that the reason given to me was not simply, this isn't interesting to our audience, or I don't think this is really appropriate for the conversation. It was specifically, we have too many calls, we can't get you on. You call back, you sound like an idiot, and they go, oh, gosh, let's get you up there, sir.
Yeah, do you get mad when women tell you that they have to wash their hair? And, like, do you have to, like, call them out, or can you just read between the fucking lines?
Oh, you're trying to say that it's equivalent to when a woman needs to shove off a guy. Like, please, bro. You're trying. Like, the obvious fact here is that they're serving up softballs to Matt because
I find it weird because we had an astrology call yesterday that we really desperately wanted to take, and we couldn't because the call screener was like, the audio is horrendous, right? It wouldn't make, but there's no, it's not like astrology is going to be the easiest thing, right? I can give like a 1-word answer on why astrology is bullshit, which is like twins, right? But the fact that like the audio quality is shit isn't going to make for a great show when we have 16 other calls that we can choose from where they've been screened to have audio that the audience can understand, that we can understand what they're saying. Because you know how many times I've talked to somebody and I'm like, I don't even know what you're saying because the quality's such shit.
Hey, Mike, right? You've got like 30 to 1 idiots that address Matt on a daily basis.
Yeah, but that's also going to be working against. This
sounds like projection to me. Like, I don't really get the point.
Like, you're just coping with the fact that they're clearly, based on the evidence, at least avoiding certain things.
I don't know why that would be the case, because me and Matt, like, me and Matt disagree on a lot of different points where, like, openly we've disagreed on the show about topics. We wouldn't bring them on if you thought like our whole goal was to avoid these types of issues, especially like either between the hosts or between. I don't get the point. Like the whole.
Why Truthy would feel that way though, because he's saying that he called in, he had an education topic to talk about that was very thought provoking, that a lot of people can't necessarily.
He just said something about epistemology. What was the topic?
Yes,
he isn't expressed
epistemic justification, right? I doubt the call screener even knew what you were talking about, Truthy. I would have hung up on you too.
Hold on, James. Yeah, James, stop.
I mean,
all he said is epistemic. He hasn't actually like detailed what his call was about. Maybe we can address it right now.
He said the call screener lied to him and said they are full-on calls. They can't take any more.
Who cares?
Today. Try some other time. He called back, pretending to be an idiot, and the call screener put him right on. So
all right, I don't know how to address it. Cool. He told me something that happened. I have no access to knowing whether or not that's the case. I can give him an option to talk to me next week if he wants, or whatever. That's all. I don't know what you want me to do.
I'm trying to say you might be deceived. I'm just saying you might be deceived about what's going on there. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Truthy. I will take your notion that I'm deceived because you called in and said that you didn't get a fair opportunity, and I'm giving you a fair opportunity, and you don't want to take it.
No,
so
I
want to talk. Hold on.
You would give me a fair opportunity. I grant that.
Truthy, stop.
Okay.
Because I'm not concerned about the meta point. Because I'm not concerned. What I'm concerned about is why I'm there is to talk about the content. Right. That's all I care about. I just care about talking about the content. I can know it. I can admit that I don't know it. I can admit that, hey, you're a fucking idiot because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, we can go any route we want on the content. I'm not concerned about the meta. So, given that, if you want to call in and talk about the content that you so desperately wanted to talk about that you feel like you couldn't get out, why not you fucking call when I'm on next week and we talk about it? Otherwise, if your concern is not about the motherfucking content, I don't give a shit about your meta-analysis of what you think the ACA is full of.
I fully
shut the fuck up and call in about the content. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to call in about the content, then fucking talk about your point and we'll dispute it. But don't fucking talk about your meta-analysis that has nothing to do with my concern. My concern is about what you have to offer to the show and us discussing it. Otherwise, consider shutting the fuck up forever, because I'm just not interested in your bitching. I'm not interested in your whining and your moaning.
With your point? Are you done with your point?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Stop whining like a stop whining like a fucking child and call in next week.
Can I respond?
Yeah. Do you want to stop whining like a fucking child
and let me know when you're done.
Content that you have to offer, or are you afraid?
Just let me know when you're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you. I fully grant that you are a totally rational actor, that you're not doing these things, and that you would take calls on the merits. I grant that, okay? I think you actually seem like a very reasonable person and someone that's interested in the ideas, okay? I have no gripes with you whatsoever. My claim is specifically about the call screeners and their
I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. Then shut the fuck up.
J-Mike, I let you speak for quite a while, so I'm just trying to
don't care about your concerns about the call screeners, so talk to a wall about it. I don't give a shit about your concerns.
I think that says a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, because I can't access when I'm on the show that if the call screen, I know the call screeners, right? They would have no reason to do that, right? I know them personally. I talk to them. They go out into Discords trying to get people to call on the show. Why would we prevent a call if we need it to fill in a show where I have to make a stupid fucking call about somebody talking about quantum mechanics? I have to try to make that last for 30 minutes because I don't have calls, right? So you're professing a point to me that's like antithetical to what I have to actually deal with on a Sunday, which is stretching out a call because I need more fucking idiots like you to call in.
Yeah, you need more calls. Matt doesn't.
Yeah, but truly, you're just like missing all the points. I mean, like this conversation about epistemic justification is going to take probably longer than herp derp God be real, right? Right?
Our conversation, I think, could have been about 10 minutes and would have been just fine.
It could have been, but these people have been doing this show for 20 years, right? And they have a general idea what conversation is going to take this amount of time, what conversation is going to take that amount of time, right? When you have Matt Slick on and he's running his tag argument, they basically cleared the board, right? Basically only talked to him the entire show. They know what's going to happen, right? When you want to talk about epistemic justification versus some guy who wants to talk about herp derp God be real, right? And they have X amount of calls already. Why are they going to like fit you in when there's like 5 minutes left in the show or something like that, right? Or if they put you in the beginning, might have like what, two other calls?
To me, it's weirder than that, Big Tom, because like it's not like I hold way different views than a lot. Like, right, I'm a property dualist, right? So like I hold views that are different than people there. It's not like we would say like someone coming in with some argument, like say like they wanted to talk about rule following considerations or whatever argument. Like we wouldn't block that. I would welcome that call. I want more of those calls, right?
Yeah, you do.
No one would block those off, right? Because they want more of those calls because we want a disagreement between. Like, we don't want the co-hosts to just agree.
Yeah, but J-Mike, I'm trying to explain it. Truthy, the Atheist Experience is a show. It is a fucking show, right? Nobody wants to fucking hear. The audience of the Atheist Experience doesn't want to listen to your ass, Truthy, talking about epistemic justification, right? Some of them aren't even.
I think that Matt's actually interested.
It's not an assumption. It's not an assumption, right? It's not an assumption.
You're just doing the soft bigotry of low expectations.
I'm doing the soft bigotry of low expectations. That is understood to be the target audience of the Atheist Experiences. The calls, which are very accessible to a mass audience.
It sounds like you're agreeing that they want softball questions for Matt, Tom. It sounds like you're actually agreeing with Chufy's argument, and you're saying,
nope,
deal with it.
Well, softball questions for Matt the whole meaning there is that we need to protect Matt from Truthy and wanting to talk about epistemic justification. They don't want. I don't think they have any intention of that. They just don't want to like clog the airwaves with like dumb bullshit that nobody wants to fucking hear. That should be obvious.
Why don't
to
I
you
just
guys.
solve this bullshit and just say Truthy? Why don't I just get you a call with Matt?
No, bro, I grant you would give me a call. I know you would, J Mike. You seem like a totally reasonable person.
I'm not concerned about that. Like, I'm concerned about like your concern. You didn't get on. You think there's a softball thing.
No, I did.
I can involve that. You can just talk.
On.
Look, I can just say I won't mention anything. I'll just say, hey, again, like what I asked last time with this guy named John who didn't deliver, which I gave 2 opportunities to. I haven't struck out completely, right? I have 2 strikes. There's a 3rd strike. Maybe we'll give it to you, and then we'll just sit everybody on the bench. But my point, I guess, is that I can get you a conversation if that's what you want. I don't really get it. I don't get like you just want to bitch about the call screeners, and then I can absolve the problem by getting you on to talk about your topic. Would that answer me yes or no? Would that help or no?
No, because you're missing my point.
Okay, yeah, okay. So then I just don't care to talk to you. If I'm gonna
I do think you're a reasonable guy, J.
Care to offer you just to prove a point, and you don't want to accept it, then I can't do anything else for you because I really don't give a shit if Matt talks to you or not. And okay, maybe.
He's saying that if someone else calls in, they probably potentially can have the same experience Truthy did, where they're told, "Hey, we're all full. We can't take any more calls." It was a complex topic. Truthy then tested his theory. He called right back in, talking like an idiot, and then they put him right on.
But it's not really testing his theory because what he observed was compatible with multiple hypotheses. So not going to prove his theory, James. Come on, man.
It proves that the call screeners lied to a caller, saying, "Hey, we're all called up." He has a complex topic. He comes in talking like an idiot. Like,
does he have evidence that he even called in first?
Yeah, I was the 2 calls after. Oh, are you saying do I have evidence that they lied? I didn't record it, so I can't prove it.
Okay, so then do you want me to just take your word for it?
Yeah, by the way, I don't believe for a second that you're not being hyperbolic, and I don't believe for a second you called up and said, "I believe in God." Yeah, that was completely hyperbolic.
Oh,
I don't think.
No, I absolutely did.
Absolutely tell me exactly what and how you said what you said to the call screener.
I said, I just believe, there's tons of evidence for God. I just read my Bible, I go to church, I look at the natural world. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's not what you did before.
Okay, that's exactly what I said. I'm being honest, like on my mom.
Yeah, I mean, if that, I would just hope that if you were to come with a case like that and you set out to do that, and then your goal was to change it, like, why don't you just show that that's the case, right? Why don't you actually just record that again?
I'll try to do it again.
If that's the case, why don't you just prove it to me?
Yeah,
I'll try.
A few other people with you to call in, propose educational topics, and then have them call back in and propose uneducational topics. Record those calls because 1, it would be evidence to provide for your claim, but 2, I think it would be greatly embarrassing to the AXP group if they have call screeners who are doing that.
I'll try, but Tom is right in some way, right? It is underdetermined a little bit, but it does seem to me that it's a straightforward lie.
Oh my God!
Really?
Are we
good now?
Really? He's good with the underdetermination that easily.
What you wanted to say about epistemic justification, Truthy? You could do it right now.
Yeah, but he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about that.
My whole point was that I wanted to talk to Matt about it. That's the whole point.
Oh, no one here.
You can talk to Matt about it.
And the more I talk to you, Truthy, the more I want to give you that opportunity if you just allow me.
Yeah, but
if you can get me to talk with Matt, I'm happy. I'm not
like doing it as this like pedestal thing. That's what you want, and you feel so confident. I just want to give that to you.
It's not that I think like I'm going to just absolutely destroy Matt. I just think that these are things that he doesn't address often.
That's not what I'm saying. I just want to give you what you want because you so desperately want it, in virtue of like this whole like notion that you think like you're being prevented from coming on for whatever reason. I want you to like just. you don't have to give me the full reason, but like, you know, if whatever you think it is that scares off the call screeners, you know, just tell me that that's what you're going to call in. Like, I won't tell them, just message me while I'm on the show and I say, once you see that, that's the guy, have him come on. Right.
And thank you.
No one's going to be like, oh shit.
Wait,
yeah, no, I appreciate that.
I thought you did get to talk to Matt.
Yeah, I did. I mean, the whole point is that.
So then why didn't you just then why didn't you just use the opportunity to fucking just totally just obliterate him with that point that you had?
I mean, J Mike, we did have the conversation. You're just like, you're missing my entire point here.
I don't even remember talking to you. So I guess that's how much important
you tell us what the thing is you wanted to talk about, and you said I wanted to talk to Matt about it, right? But you did talk to Matt about it, so you don't want to talk to anyone else about it but Matt?
Oh, no. I mean, I have these conversations on Discord and on Clubhouse all the time, of course. Like, I mean, we can. I'm just trying to say that, like, I do think there's something going on here, and I'll take James's challenge and try to record it next time and see if I can actually, you know, show. But I don't know how many instances of this happening would be sufficient to make the claim.
AXP may appreciate it because maybe they don't know.
Well, you think the one was enough. You think the one
why won't J Mike talk to him about it? Why doesn't J Mike talk to him about it right now?
He said he would.
He's happy to.
It's weird that like he's like, I don't know what would be necessary and sufficient, despite the fact that like I'm claiming this one call was necessary and sufficient.
I'm just saying it was a lie. I'm just saying it was definitely an instance of a lie, J Mike. That's all I'm saying.
So
like, I would really
now
like
you're
to
saying
see
it was necessary and sufficient to determine that.
No, I'm saying it was a straightforward lie. Do you disagree?
Or say that's the whole point of saying that it was for you to think it was necessary and sufficient to determine that, right? You just said a second ago that wouldn't.
Yeah, the call screener lied
I'm saying
to you about
to determine whether or not it's systemic, right?
Cares?
I'm talking about whether or not it's systemic. It certainly happened in this instance.
You have a bigger problem, Truthy, because you running the same test again isn't going to give you the conclusion for a specific hypothesis. You're going to have to change your testing method.
Yeah, but I don't
now we can get into what's that?
No, they're entitled to. They have their format. It's worked for them all these years, and just because they blew you off with a lie, like who cares? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, why doesn't J Mike talk to him about it right now?
He already offered to.
Yes.
Look, Godless. I'll tell you this right now. J Mike already said he would. Okay, like don't like you're. I don't know. I know you're like pursuing your like little vendetta with J Mike or whatever. He already said he would, so I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Truthy, then what's your fucking?
Why does Godless have beef with J Mike?
Stop.
I can tell you that afterwards. But why the fuck would you pass up the opportunity to talk about it with J Mike right now?
I mean, we can. I'm happy to do it. My point was about Matt kind of talking about.
Well, I really, really, really like to see that. Can you guys talk about the atheist experience another time and debate whatever you called in about right now?
What's the topic?
The topic you called in about was Matt.
Are you serious? What's the matter with you?
I like. Am I supposed to entertain this?
You have the opportunity right now to whatever you called in the atheist experience about that you think you can own Matt on, right?
The point is, I don't think he even knows. What
I wasn't finished.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I don't even think he really knows like what he's pretending it was about.
Yeah, Truthy, this is making me like not believe what you told me yesterday. Why would you pass up the opportunity to crush one of Matt Dillahunty's bitch boys right now?
I don't think J Mike's a bitch boy. He just said he disagrees with them on a host of things.
Look, bro, can we get off the meta, please?
Yeah, we disagree. We and Matt disagree on a lot, so there's a lot that we disagree on. So